with another live stream. What is Troy the Man doing? Well, Troy the Man got a pork shoulder on the grill being smoked and just got stung by a mosquito. I'll show you guys that in a bit. I just put it on the grill and got this all set up. It's really Mountain Dew. I'll put that down here. So I got to make a correction on the last story I did. Once again, I should have waited just another day for news to come out. But apparently, SWAT was on scene at that mass shooter. But they were told not to go in by the leadership. So whoever was in charge of that situation needs to be fired. And that teacher who left that door propped open needs to be fired too. Ooh. I'm gonna punch you at the wall so that you guys can see blue. Yeah. So I just got one of these little lanterns out here. Oh God, that's bright. These little camping lanterns. I got my cigarettes, and I'm chilling on the porch. The grill's around the corner. I'll show you guys that in a bit. But some things came out in the news recently that, well, if you saw my community post, you'd understand. An ex linebacker from Virginia Tech uh, was acquitted of murder charges this week. Apparently, some dude was pretending to be a young girl, a trans. Uh, did this guy some sexual favors without telling him. And when he found out that the dude was a trans, he killed him. Now, I don't condone murdering people, but in some cases I do understand, but I don't condone it because murder is wrong. But he was. And I haven't really seen very many trans people on Twitter yet making a big stink about it. I probably will search it, but I've been debating a lot of lefties over the abortion debate. And so I haven't seen it. When it comes to Twitter, I do stay away from the trans because, well, they tend to get people banned from Twitter. So that's why I haven't really looked at it. But, well, I haven't looked at it on Twitter. I read the story. I posted it to my community tab I think it was either yesterday or the day before. Can't remember, but I posted it. And I was thinking about doing its own video on it, but eh, I thought I'd mention it here because, well, gotta have something to talk about. Um, then there's the fact that Nancy Pelosi's husband was just picked up for drunk driving. I really don't care about that story because, well, nothing's going to happen to him. I mean, his wife is Nancy Pelosi, and Democrat states tend to protect their own. They tend to defend and protect other Democrats, and these people don't care if Democrats commit crimes. So I don't think anything's going to happen to him. If I was a prosecutor, I'd nail him to the wall. I don't care. You drink and drive, you have to face the punishment. But uh, Mountain Dew. I don't usually drink soda, but I need to stay awake for a little while longer because I got that roast on the grill. And what's messed up is I think I'm going to be the only one to eat it. Um, because as you guys know, this month has been a very unlucky month for me. You know, with the two strikes from Twitter, plus the copyright strike. Well, the two strikes from YouTube and the copyright strike from YouTube. Uh, I'm back in Facebook jail, so I've been in Facebook jail twice this month. And I was exposed to the coof. It turns out I don't have it, but I don't know. My mom is staying away from me, avoiding me like the plague still. That, and I am kind of pissed off at her. Just slightly pissed off. No big deal. So I'll probably get over it in a couple of days. Oh boy. I swear when I get old, I'm not going to own any guns. I can tell you that. But that's a story for another time. Uh, anyways, so a lot's going on. Democrats are back on the ban all guns bandwagon. Personally, I think everyone should be allowed to own a gun because I am a constitutionalist and not allowing taking away people's rights to me just seems unconstitutional. So I don't care if the person has a restraining order. I don't care if the person's committed any crime. Once you do the crime, you definitely will do the time. But when you get out of jail, your slate should be wiped clean. Except sex offenders, though, they need to be put in mental institutions. But if we decided to end all gun bans, you know what's going to happen. The states, well, the blue states anyway, are going to have people committed for stupid shit, saying that they are mentally unstable. And if that were to happen, I would just move to Texas because I'm done. Even Texas would do it though too. So but they won't do it on the scale that the Democrats will. Mm. Too many bugs over here. So yeah, as you can see, I'm chilling outside and just waiting. I don't even know what time it is. So let's see. All right, so at about 3 o'clock, I'm gonna take this phone over to uh, my grill and show you guys how to spritz your meat without using a spray bottle. They tend to break on me, so I just don't use them anymore. Spices get clogged in the spray bottles, and it's just not not cool. So this pork shoulder, what I did with it. Oh, you guys are gonna love this. So you guys know earlier I made some ribs. I still got half a rack upstairs that I need to eat. Probably gonna eat that in the morning when I go inside the house. Um, there's the thing is I took the juices from those ribs that were inside the aluminum foil, and believe me, there was a ton of juices in there. And I injected it with the juices from those ribs because it's flavored with all the seasonings, the whiskey, because I inject my ribs with honey honey whiskey. Well, this was actually Jim Beam, but I usually use Jack Daniel's Tennessee Honey. I still believe that the JD Tennessee Honey is better for it, but the Jim Beam still works. So it's still good. So either one, perfect. You guys who've seen my videos in the past know that I used to experiment all the time, and now I found my main recipe for ribs. So I used that recipe. When I wrapped it, I added brown sugar, honey, and some more whiskey, and and some butter, real butter, and all of that flavoring was injected into that roast, and I seasoned it. I did all of this at 8 o'clock last night. Um, I I added well, I seasoned it and injected it, and then stuck it in the fridge. Waited till now, took it out of the fridge, so it's been marinating in there in the juices for a while, and it's on the smoke. It's on the grill right now, getting smoked. I got maple wood chips, and they work. I still prefer the apple wood when doing my rib recipe because I use the apple wood rub and used to use the sweet and smoky, but I found this apple butter rub that is just so good. Oh my god, it does wonders on chicken too. So this is my Memorial Day feast. Friday, I had burgers and hot dogs for lunch and supper. Saturday, I had burgers and hot dogs for lunch and a beef roast that was cooked in a crock pot. My roommate cooked that, which was pretty good because, see, his secret recipe for the roast is, you add your meat, your little beef roast, and then you add, you know, the beef broth with onions, carrots, potatoes, and then he'll put a few drops of honey in it, and oh, it is so good. sorry. So I wasn't passing that up. Um, and then today I had, well, since my grill was occupied with the ribs, I fried up a burger and I put a hot dog in the microwave, and that's what I had for lunch today. Tomorrow, well, I should say today, I plan on having pulled pork sandwiches. I do have hamburger rolls, but I want to save those for my hamburgers, so I'm gonna just use regular bread, toast the bread in the toaster, put the pulled pork on it, mixed with barbecue sauce and all that wonderful goodness. It's gonna be pretty good. So I just got to stay up till 6 o'clock in the morning, um, because I'm gonna wrap the roast. I do not have a pan because usually when people make a pork shoulder, they stick it in the pan, then they put aluminum foil and wrap aluminum foil over it and stick it back in the grill. Um, I'm going to be wrapping mine up in aluminum foil because that's all I got. Couldn't find any butcher paper and couldn't even find any pans, man. Those disposable aluminum pans cleaned out at my local Walmart. Well, I can't go in there, so my mom had to do my shopping there for me, which is pretty fucked up. And I can't even go in the local supermarket because they're owned by the same company that owns Walmart. So I'm banned from both places. All because I took off my mask at Walmart when they were doing the mask mandate. So pisses me right off. I had had my surgery too when I had to get that kidney stone lasered out. That was bad. But I thought I'd be fine to walk around. I wasn't fine to walk around. Believe me, that shit hurt like a motherfucker. So I took my mask off and started to leave. And they harassed me about wearing a mask. And I said, well, "What are you harassing me for? I'm leaving." Oh, they pissed me right the fuck off, dude. They really did. I really hate Walmart. But thankfully, my local butcher is pretty cool. So I bought this pork shoulder last month to cook for um, Easter, but uh, I ended up forgetting to take it out. So I left it in the freezer. I said, screw it. I'll wait for another time to do it. So it's Memorial Day. And forget about it. Oh, that maple wood smells good. Mm. But that's what that's what I'm cooking now. I don't know what I'm doing for Fourth of July weekend, but I tell you this, it will definitely be barbecue related. I'll probably have burgers and hot dogs, but I want to do something different for the Fourth. Uh, I may finally cook a whole chicken, but I gotta test it out first. So because see, the thing is everything I do to it, the skin doesn't crisp. It stays like rubber. Well, the last time I cooked a whole chicken, I took the skin off, completely off, right? Then I had the legs for supper that night. The next, and I took the breast, and I just kind of peeled it off the bone, broke it apart, broke the skin apart, and stuck the two together. I didn't break the skin apart too much. I just broke it into large pieces so that they could be taken out, and I stuck them in the bag with the in the Ziploc bag with the chicken, and then I dumped the juices from the chicken inside the bag, sealed the bag up, and shook it up and moved all the juices around, left it in the fridge overnight. Next morning when I woke up, I killed the two wings, kept the chicken in there, and for supper that night, oh man, the chicken was just so much better. It was so much better. And I used the applewood rub the last time. I mean, not the applewood, the apple butter. Yep, just the apple butter because I wanted to try the apple butter. But man, maybe in the next video I'll show you guys what the apple butter is. I ran out of the applewood rub tonight, so yeah. And it's been out at my local Walmart, so I got to order it through Amazon. When this reaches the hour mark, I'm gonna go over there and show you guys the roast. See how it's doing. I'm so excited because I finally got to cook this thing. I wanted to do something different other than ribs because I always do ribs. All right, always because they're good. But some people think that, oh, this guy's only a one-trick pony with the ribs. Nope, I'm not because I've done chicken legs that were wrapped with bacon before. I've done steaks. Oh man. So I figured out the best way to get a steak charred. So what you do is you bank your coals to one side of the grill. Very first thing, you get the coals lit up, and then you set the steak over the top of it, and then you throw the the wagyu beef fat over the top of it, and it'll drip down and spark up all the flames, and you can sit there and just watch your steak get flame broiled big time. Flip the steak and then put the beef fat on top again. Works like a charm every time. Um, yeah, I did that steak video before. I even showed you what the wagyu beef fat looks like. Maybe I should. If somebody asks in the comment section, I'll send you guys a link to the beef to the wagyu beef fat because last time I checked it was still $30 and I got to get another can because I'm almost out. So, but yeah, it's called beef tallow, and pork fat is called lard, and then you got duck fat. Everybody says though that duck fat is better than wagyu beef tallow, but I don't like duck. No way. You couldn't pay me to eat duck, but I don't like deer meat either. Although somebody did a recipe with deer meat that had me eating it up like it was fucking going out of style. It was macaroni and cheese mixed with deer meat. And the deer meat had a little bit of hamburger meat mixed into it. And I was like, oh God, I hate deer meat. And my friend said, oh, you're going to love this. So I tried it and it was pretty damn good. Not even going to lie. That was the only time I've ever been able to eat deer meat. Every other time it's just been crap. And everybody keeps telling me, oh, try this recipe with the deer meat. Try that. And it doesn't work. Except that one time it worked. when the shit hits the fan, and it looks like it's going to, I am gonna, I'll do anything for a meal. Well, not anything. Uh, I won't do what drug addicts do to get drugs, but I will go out in the middle of the woods with my bow or my crossbow and come back to the house with a deer. I'm not a rooster lollipop. Oh man, I'll never forget that episode of that one time on Terrence Pop live stream saying that Biden and Putin are both rooster lollipops in the comment section. Well, in the live comments, the one I paid for, and Blake and Pop were laughing their asses off. Yeah, that was me. That shit was hilarious. He's like, I'm gonna write that down. Rooster lollipop. Yeah. And you know what's funny? Everybody everybody on Facebook and Twitter, they will sit there and use the emojis to call somebody a well, I can't say it on YouTube. Me, I spell it the fuck out. I spell it out. It's funnier that way because everybody sees the emojis, but some idiot just spelling it out. Mm. 30 more minutes. I'm gonna go spritz that roast with some apple juice and some more juices from the ribs. Got it mixed in my tumbler cup. Huh. Oh, and I also added some apple butter seasoning to it too, to the cup with all the juices in it. I know somebody's online. Is there anything you want me to talk about? I still got at least 30 minutes to go. But so yeah. So what's been in the news? Mostly just this mass shooting, and apparently the Russians have gone on quite a bit of an offensive this week. They're probably trying to free that Russian soldier who was brought up on war crimes. So, um, I've been trolling Facebook still. Well, I tell you I'm in Facebook jail right now, but it's not really Facebook jail. It's more like I can't post in groups for 30 days. I have my own group on uh, Facebook. It starts off with the words real men in capital letters. And it says real men will do whatever they want, not what people on the internet say to do. Go check that group out. I am accepting women in that group too because, well, they can post a link And who knows? Maybe I'll get a troll. I like trolling the left. I really do. You know, I'm going on week 3 now. Um, on a massive troll on Twitter. Same topic, same Twitter thread, 2 weeks. It was 2 weeks on Thursday. So, or no, it was 2 weeks on Wednesday because Thursday was when I got out of Facebook jail this past Thursday, and I was in for 2 weeks. It's really just a bunch of shit. But that Twitter thread has gotten me a lot of trophies. Like for instance, when somebody blocks me, I screenshot their profile and then I share it to Facebook. I have a Facebook wall of all the people that have blocked me so far since I've been back on Twitter. I did that the last time when I was on Twitter before I got completely banned. Because I saved those like they're trophies. I got one conservative woman, and the rest are a bunch of whiny feminists. Because if you say the words real men or a real man and they say would do this and it's usually something that benefits a woman and her vaginal turds. I know, I'm the one to talk. I'm a vaginal turd too. We all are. Until they start doing the whole birthing pod thing. Oh, I gotta get another Mountain Dew. Probably later. But that's but yeah, that's what I do. They don't like it when I say the words vag turd. But, do your kids know you use that term? My response is always yes. Oh, there are a lot of things that trigger these people. Like when you talk about the rooster carousel, and yep, I spell it out too. I don't use the emojis. I do use emojis from time to time, but when it comes to emojis involving roosters, I just spell it out because it's funnier that way. So another thing that pisses them off is instead of calling it abortion, I call it murdering babies because that's basically what it is. There was a woman sitting there saying, "Oh, they're not babies, they are fetuses, right?" And there's a guy, another MGTOW guy, mind you. He's sitting there posting the actual definition of fetus, and it's got the words "a human baby" inside the definition. It is so funny. It really is. But that's trolling on Twitter for you. I did get one of the women that I was trolling to watch my last video, and their answer for everything is gun bans. See, they sit there and claim that this is human rights and that's human rights. Well, gun rights are human rights. Go ahead, you can say duh in the comment section because it's true. Human rights are, well, gun rights are human rights. So every time somebody says something like that, this is human rights or that's human rights, just sit there and just say gun rights are human rights, father rights are human rights, but they only care about human rights when it suits them. But Troy, don't you care about trans rights? Honestly, I don't care if you're trans. I just don't want that shit pushed on the children. I don't want that shit pushed on to me or anybody else. If you want to be trans, go for it. More power to you. It doesn't affect me one bit. But when you start pushing it on the children, and children are impressionable and they will follow whatever an adult says, you can't be doing that. That is grooming. And that's why you have so many teachers out there having sex with children that they teach. Um, Recently, a male teacher was, oh, well, it wasn't that recent. I would say, I think it was, yeah, it said 2017. A teacher in Australia admitted to having sex with one of his students in 2007 or 2008, and they banned his teaching license for 5 years, and that was it. So he can't teach for 5 years. He can teach it after that 5 year ban is up. Because the girl that he was sleeping with became a teacher and admitted it to one of their colleagues because she was working. I guess she was working at the same school or in the same school system. So it's kind of messed up. I was reading that story earlier. I was actually looking for prison sentences on male teachers who sleep with females versus female teachers, and I've seen so many male teachers sentenced to 10 to 20 years in prison for doing that, but all these female teachers are getting off with probation. The only teacher who's done significant jail time was that one who actually fell in love with her student, and that student fell in love with her, and she couldn't stay away from him, so they put her in prison for all that time. And then when she got out, they got married. Which I think is horrendous. But yeah, female teachers can sleep with all the students they want and they won't go to prison. That's why they keep doing it. It pisses me off. Another 20 minutes, I'll be checking that roast. I'm going to show you guys a technique for spritzing the roast when you don't have a spritz. So I can do that for you. That means I'll have to carry my phone and my lantern over there, but that's okay. And I gotta do this. I gotta do the spritz every hour for the first 4 hours, and then I wrap it and then let it sit in there for another 8 hours. Um, so what else did I talk to those women about? Oh yeah, every time you say that gun bans won't work because criminals don't follow the law, and they're saying, so you think an abortion ban will? You know, they like to throw that in your face. And I tell them it would drastically reduce the number of abortions because most people don't want to risk going to prison or even facing the death penalty in death penalty states because that's what it's going to come down to. So you drastically reduce the number of abortions. I mean, there'll still be illegal abortions going on, and but it won't be abortions won't be as bad as it is now. They seem to think that they could just throw the guns in our face. But people will be facing the death penalty over abortion because it is a form of murder. In the Bible, it says, "Thou shalt not murder." Oh wow! I only got 2 cigarettes left, and I gotta wait till 6 o'clock till the store opens. Oh damn! I'm gonna have to go to the gas station, the other gas station, because the one that is closest to my house is closed. But yep, thank God I don't have COVID though. Huh. Oh, that would drive me insane. I just don't want to have. Well, I probably won't be dealing with it as bad as my brother dealt with it in the beginning because he got COVID in March of 2020 and he was in the hospital for it for 5 days. And even he said it wasn't that bad. But I just don't know what else to do. Sit here for 15 minutes and wait till I do the first spritz and then sign out. That's the plan anyway. I don't know what else to talk about. I still got to watch Terrence Pop's last live stream. See, for Terrence Pop, what I do is I watch his live stream on YouTube, and then when it's time to switch over to Rumble, I'll go watch it on Rumble because that way he gets two views out of me instead of just one, and he's the only person I do that for. But with everything going on with YouTube, I think I might actually just say fuck it and switch to Rumble because their censorship is insane. And they can get away with it too because they're a so-called publisher. Well, since that is the case, I gotta go searching for a video. Because somebody, I won't say who, decided to defame me in a video a few years ago. And if it's still up, I'll just see YouTube over it. It's all right. Yeah, so about 6 o'clock before I go to bed, you gotta wrap that roast up and then stick enough coals in that grill to keep it going for 8 hours. Probably be able to keep it going for 4, and then I'll have to get up again and add more coals to it because, well, just because. Um, Now, when you're cooking a roast like this, what you want to do is you want to put, you want to line your coals up in 3 rows going around the grill, and then you put your wood chips on uh, part of the coals, and they'll smoke your meat well, they'll smoke the meat, and you'll you'll have to move it around every so often. Now, the way I do a roast, all right, when I put it in the grill, most people do it with the fat side up. I do it with the fat side down. That way, there the meat will get the smoke and not the fat. So that's another tip that I can give to you because I learned that trick from a guy in North Carolina who taught me how to do barbecue. And this guy was a one-legged veteran. He lost his leg in Vietnam, so he's an old dude. And yes, he was a black guy. You know I don't have to put that out there, but I'm trying to give you guys a visual. And he taught me how to barbecue. Great dude. Probably one of the greatest dudes you'll ever meet in your life. Um, the only time you see him wearing his prosthetic is when he's operating his big giant smoker. Now, he didn't teach me how to do it with one of these little girls. I had to learn all that on my own. He taught me how to do it in a big smoker. So when I get a bigger smoker, I already know how to do it. I was thinking about getting a pellet smoker, but I really don't want to spend the money on something that is electric. This is great, sitting outside, doing a live stream, being able to smoke cigarettes. That was my third cigarette, and I got two left. I don't care though, because as long as I have one when I wake up in the morning, I'll be all set. Or maybe I'll just bum one off of my roommate. He rolls his own, so it's no big deal. But usually I only smoke two brands of cigarettes. Old Gold, which is very big in New England, in the Northeast, and Newport Menthols. Those are the only two brands of cigarettes I smoke. Unless, of course, I roll one when I'm out. And then I'm about to run out of Old Golds. I thought about switching over to rolling, but I like my menthols way too much. And I like Old Gold way too much. Newport Menthols right now are about $10 a pack, so I stopped buying those. Or I stopped buying them when they reached $10. That was a few months ago. So I've been strictly smoking Old Gold. They're just a little bit cheaper. Not by much, considering the local gas station up here, they sell them for $9 a pack. I wish I was living back down in North Carolina though. I was getting Newport menthols for $5.25 a pack. The best. These Democrats, another thing that these women tried to tell me, that Democrats are more fiscally responsible. That's and they say the deficit always goes down when a Democrat's in office. And you know what I tell them? They do that at the expense of the economy. Raise taxes. Taxes have skyrocketed. Put Trump back in office. I'll have more money in my pocket, and I'll be back to buying ribs at $7 a rack instead of this $20 a rack that I've been paying. So, you know what? I think I'm gonna go over there now. I gotta do a little walking. Oh Man, my body is stiff right now from sitting in that chair. Oh man, that's bad. That is so bad. Oh man, maybe I should stretch. It's gonna take me a minute. Gotta go around this truck. Point it up at the sky so you don't see the license plate. All right. Now I gotta walk through the trees. All right, here we go. See, walking through the trees. Oh my God, you guys got to see this. It won't show it. You try turning on my flash. Look at all that smoke. Look at that bad boy. Oh yeah. See, look how I got it banked. I got a bank on that side because this side was used for cooking earlier tonight. So I just banked all the way around. All right, I gotta set this up. I'm just pulling out the bottom of the legs so that I can stand this up. Oh, it just went sideways. Sorry about that. Rotate the place. Yeah, so I got it in my tumbler. So what you do is you take your brush I'm going to stir it around a little bit. And then you just, what the hell? Okay, that was the fat from the grease. And you just sprinkle it on there. You don't brush it on there because you just sprinkle it on there with your brush. You don't brush it on because you'll be brushing away the seasoning. Try to wipe some of that off. I'm still just sprinkle it on there. This is how you spritz without a spray bottle. You just let your brush drip everything on there. Oh, you can smell that apple juice. Still just letting it drip on there. Just like that. And now I'm going to close it off and do it all again later. That'll keep the meat moist. It won't dry it out. Very important when you cook the fat side down because the fat itself will render down and protect the meat from drying out except on the bottom. And you don't want your meat to be dry. So um, always cook your pork shoulder or anything basically fat side down. Do it with brisket too. Oh man, that smoke just looks so cool. Oh yeah, so cool. I uh, I don't see too many people barbecuing in my neighborhood. My next door neighbor does once in a while. Me, I try to barbecue every weekend because I love doing it. I really do. I mean, it is something I really love. Most people in the state of Maine, when they make pulled pork, they do it either in a crock pot or in the oven, and then they'll either shred it or pull it apart and put pork gravy over the top of it. I mean, it's not even done like this, dude. I mean, even when they cook it like this, they'll make the pork gravy and just pull it apart and put the gravy all over it. That's their version of barbecue pork. That's what they call it. They're like Maine style barbecue pork. It is disgusting. Not a fan. I'm gonna start walking back to the chair, and then I'll sit down for a few minutes. But yep, three different rubs on that. The applewood rub is on the fat side, but that sweet and spicy rub with the coffee and the coffee, maple syrup and other shit in it. I don't like coffee, so when I saw that it had coffee in it, I was not happy. But it'll work. It'll work for color. But I love that apple butter rub. You know, maybe when I'm when I pull it off the grill, I'll show you what I'm talking about with the apple butter. But yeah, Troy the man's gonna be up till 6 o'clock in the morning. I don't know. Last night I was up until 5 o'clock in the morning. No, I'm not gonna sit down. I can't. I get all stiff. No, I don't get that kind of stiff. Just my whole body gets stiff. Oh man. Yeah, so I don't even know if my mom's gonna have some of this pork. I really hope that she just stays away, but I mean, she works, takes care of people who can't take care of themselves. I mean, she's got clients she has to clean their houses, and some clients she has to bathe and all that crap. She's a caregiver. She used to work at a church, and right when the pandemic hit, she lost that job, and so she had to go back into taking care of people, which is fine. Work is work. If you can get a job, get a job. If you can't, well, keep trying. Need that paper. But anyways, I'm gonna sign off now. I'll probably do a live stream tomorrow afternoon once the pork is ready to be pulled, or after the pork is pulled. I don't know. You guys have a good rest of your morning. Happy Memorial Day. And if you are a veteran, I hope you enjoy this day. Personally, holidays are just another day to me. So I'm not gonna, I don't usually celebrate holidays, but I will for my YouTube channel. So you guys have a good night. God bless you and enjoy.